Operation Neptune Turn 2 UK. This is Panzer George. So the world is at war and we are now in our build phase. So we have 44 IPCs, so we're going to spend 40 for tech. And out of that 40, we're going to be building 2 planes, 2 fighters, 1 tank, 2 infantry, and 2 artillery. So we have some combats. First combat we're going to do is we're going to be attacking Iraq. So we have a transport here. The transport is going to move up to C Zone 80, and then it's going to pick up this tank and infantry, and it's going to move those units into Iraq. As well, this cruiser is going to come up and do a bombardment. And then over here in Egypt, we see these dastardly Italians and Germans collaborating in Transjordan, so we have to kick them out. So what we're going to do is these 4 infantry, 2 are going to go by transport. The other 2 are just going to go over land, so that means we can use a cruiser bombard and move that into Transjordan. So a combination of amphibious assault as well as overland. In addition, we're going to be sending over this tactical and fighter into that battle, and we're going to be sending this tactical 1-2 into Iraq. So let me just mark these so we know what movement's being used. So for this tactical here, we went 2 movements. We have 2 movement left. And for those aircraft attacking Transjordan, they have 3 left. Also, the tank and mech from Egypt are going to be moving to Anglo-Egyptian Sudan and then blitzing and attacking Kenya. So there's going to be a combat there against that unit. And then the most risky of all is I'm going to be sending in this 1 infantry from Burma, and I'm going to be flying in these 2 fighters. And so the fighters 1, 2, and we have 3 movement left. God be with them in that combat. So that's all the combat. So now we're gonna do some rolls. Everything else is non-combat. So let's do the one in, let's start with Iraq. Move this down a little bit. We're still adjusting for this new placement, but I think we're getting it now. Okay, let's put this down here, see if we can get everything in the picture. Okay, so what we have, we have 2 Iraqis, so they're going to defend at a 2. We have a British tank, we have a tactical, and we have 1 infantry going in. So that's what our combat looks like. So the dice. So our tactical, but our tactical's paired with a tank, so it actually rolls at a 4. And the tank rolls at a 3, and the infantry rolls at a 1. And the 2 Iraqis roll at a 2, so we can actually do all this together. Oh, and I have a cruiser bombard, so that's an additional blue. That's your 2 hits. So it looks like the Iraqis scored 1 hit, but we wiped out the Iraqis. So Iraq is now UK. So the next one we're going to do is Transjordan. So we have a tactical, which is paired with a fighter. So that rolls at a 4. We have a cruiser bombard. We have 4 infantry going in, and the Germans have 4 infantry as well. So their infantry defend at a 2, we attack at a 1 with our British. Okay, so we're going to do that combat. So we have 1 tactical, 1 fighter, 1 cruiser, and we have 4 infantry versus 4. Look at this, so we have 4 axis. So again, we can roll all combined. So 3, 4 allied infantry, a tactical, a fighter, and a cruiser versus 4 axis. Okay, so the combats here, we have 1, 2, 3. So there are 2 hits from the Axis, but we got 4 hits from the Allies, so the battle is over. So the 4 hits take away the Axis, but we lose 2. We have 2 hits on the Allies. So there's 2 infantry remaining to occupy Transjordan. So that's a victory for the Commonwealth. Now we're going to do the one down in Kenya. We want to get Kenya back. The poor Kenyans are terrified with what was going on. So we're going to try that battle. In just a minute, let me get my planes and Air Force back. So with Kenya, we have a tank and a mech coming in against 1 Italian infantry. Oops, sorry about that. A little unstable with the cord there. Okay, so we have a tank. We have our mech, and we have the Italian infantry. So let's see how that goes. And we take out the Italian infantry. So now we're going to do our non-combat move. Oh, sorry, I almost forgot. The big battle off for Yunnan. Let's put that one on. So we have 2 Japanese artillery. We have 1 British unit, and we have 2 RAF. So again, we can roll all at one time. So that's 2 for the fighters, 2 blue, 1 for the infantry, versus the 2 green for the Japanese. Okay, and we score 2 hits with our fighters, and there's no return fire from the Japanese. So that was an outstanding success for the British. So Yunnan is back under Chinese control. So let's now do our non-combat. So we're going to fly these fighters back to India and report the good news. We're going to rail 1 of these infantry units into Burma. So let me just change the count there. So we have 1 in Burma. Over here we have to land aircraft, as well as we're going to be moving out of Egypt So I'm sure you can imagine. So we're going to be moving down to Anglo-Egyptian Sudan with our AA and our 2 artillery. These fighters will also move down into Anglo-Egyptian Sudan. This one has 2 movement left. Could actually go to eastern Iran there. Do I want to stay there? Let's stay in eastern Iran. 1, 2. Just give me a second here. I did my cruisers, I did my transport up here. I'm going to be moving this destroyer out of the channel and moving it to 117. I'm going to be moving this bomber. I'm going to be moving it into London. Over here, I'm going to be moving this British battleship up to the Carolines. So we're paying them a little visit. The Rodney, HMS Rodney, His Majesty's ship, is looking at the Carolina Islands, and they have something in store for them. I'm going to leave this this plane on my carrier. Okay, so now I'm going to put on my reinforcements. So in India, I'm going to put a aircraft, an infantry and artillery fighter. In Belgian Congo, I'm going to put a tank, an infantry and artillery. And I have 1 fighter, which is going to go in UK, just to beef up that force. Okay, so sorry for waffling here. I'm going to be putting all my fighters in Anglo-Egyptian Sudan. Okay, so now we'll do disposition of forces. We have a destroyer in 117. We have a fighter and an AA in Scotland. We have 4 fighters, 4 AA, 1 bomber, and 3 infantry in England. In Gibraltar, we have 2 infantry. Belgian Congo, we have 1 infantry, 1 artillery, 1 tank. In Kenya, we have 1 tank, 1 mech. In Anglo-Egyptian Sudan, we have 1 infantry, 2 artillery, 1 AA, 1 fighter, and 2 tacticals. In Egypt, we have 1 infantry. Transjordan, we have 2 infantry. In Iraq, we have 1 tank. In C-Zone 81, oh, I have a destroyer here, 2 seconds. So this destroyer is going to go up to C-Zone 80. So in 80, I have a destroyer, a cruiser, and a transport. In C-Zone 81, I think it is, in the Suez Canal, 1 transport, 2 destroyers, 1 cruiser, and an aircraft carrier. And sorry for waffling, I'm going to move that tactical onto the aircraft carrier. I just feel it's a little bit naked, and not a tactical. I'll move a fighter on that aircraft carrier, just to give that fleet a little bit of coverage. Okay, and in India, we have 6, 7, 8, 9 infantry, 1 artillery, 3 AA, 3 air, 6, 7, 9 infantry, I think I said that, 3 AA, I think I covered a destroyer in Sea Zone 39, an infantry in Burma, an infantry in Yunnan, actually I think I can't rail this way, so actually that infantry has to go in Shan State, so just make that correction. And off Caroline Islands we have 1 battleship. Okay, so now we're going to do China. China has 15 IPCs, and we also have the Burma Road. So we're going to be buying a tank. So there is I've never done this before, so the tank has, it's a special Soviet tank, a little mini reconnaissance tank. So that's 6. And then we can buy 3 infantry. So that makes 15. So that's what we're going to be building. And then for China, we're going to be moving back from Shensi to Kansu, some Suyan to Kansu, and then we're going to be putting on our reinforcements, which is 3 infantry and 1 tank. So we'd like to thank the British for finding that Russian tank and shipping it all the way up here. So for disposition of forces for China, we have 3, 4, 5, 6 infantry and 1 tank in Kangsu. So now we're going to do our IPC count. Just hold on 1 second. So for UK, I don't have LLMing anymore, so I don't get that. I lost 3 for Hong Kong, and I get 2 for Iraq, and I think I get an additional +2. So that's 39 +4 is 43 for next turn. So that's my count for the Brits. And now for China. China, we have 1 for Yunnan, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6, but we also get +6 for the Burma Road. So for China, it'll be 12 points. Thank you very much.